Okay, good morning, Money 2020. Did you know that there's $70 trillion worth of cash transactions every year? Oh, can we use a clicker? Great. Okay, well, I'm David Putz. I'm the chairman of Billon Group. I'm joined by Robert Kaluza, who's our head of product and our chief operating officer. We're here to show you a technology that you can use to turn this physical cash into digital cash and monetize content, e-commerce, and effectively bring the underbanked into the digital economy. Let's start first with the situation today. So we use the iceberg of payments, right? Everybody here has multiple credit cards in your wallets. You're part of the 400 million people on the planet that have credit cards. Your only issue when you touch e-commerce is that most of the time, 86% of the time, if you see a website that you don't recognize, you're just simply going to reject it and not put your credit card details into that website. That's your biggest problem. But think about the 3 billion people that are basically below the waterline in the iceberg. These are the people that are stuck with using some sort of a prepaid card instrument, a voucher, something of this nature. Or just think about the millions and millions and billions of people that basically are still handling this physical cash, that basically can't access the digital economy. So what's the problem statement? Well, to start with the problem statement, you have to think about, how is it that we're going to bring this cash and payment card, alternative payment card intensive population into this digital economy? And you really have to break that down into the 3 things that they need, which is accessibility, affordability, and then you also have to solve for identity. Now, the good news is that most people have smartphones, are getting smartphones. Smartphones are getting cheaper every year. You can get a smartphone now for $39 in emerging markets. So accessibility is increasingly not the issue. The issue is really around affordability and identity, and that's where a technology like distributed ledger technology, bring that up, is the solution. Now, if you're going to go about rebuilding an architecture that is going to be more affordable and solves identity, you really have to embrace a vision of starting from scratch. And that is effectively, the vision of a Bill Gates. And that's the story behind Billon. So Billon is fiercely anti-crypto. When the company was founded, Andrzej Horeszczak was the CEO of a medical journals business, and he was trying to monetize eyeballs, so advertising revenue on his medical journals business. So he built it from 3 to 13 titles. When Bitcoin came along, he realized that that showed a direction, but it didn't give him a technological answer. It was too slow, it wasn't acceptable to regulators. So he built a new architecture. Took about 4 years, took millions of dollars, lots of research. But what he built is an architecture that is a peer-to-peer architecture with client-side encryption, which we believe is the world's fastest technology today. So we've proven already 4,000 transactions per second is cleared and settled, and theoretically we can go much faster. Okay, now just a bit busy, but just so you understand this particular architecture, the architecture is, think of the analogy of Skype. So the way that Skype sort of moved mobile communications into the IP layer, we're effectively moving ACH transactions. We're effectively moving data and money into a distributed ledger architecture, which is integrated with the banks. Now, the beauty of this particular architecture is effectively you're giving control to the companies and to the users. So effectively, every single node is a participant, and they can do all the innovation that they want on our particular architecture. The banks are still integral. So the banks legally own the clients, but now they're setting governance by policy. So it's really just a matter of software parameterization. And users control their passwords, they control their identity. So all the benefits of the distributed ledger technology is effectively you're moving these passwords out of the bank and you're putting it into the hands of the users who control them themselves. Now, the beauty of the architecture is that any single node can be parameterized and can be built really to the specifications of that particular user, whether it's a merchant, a company, or an individual. And because it's integrated into the banking system, we can move physical to digital cash we can allow all the participants to do whatever it is they want there, and then if they want to, they can just withdraw at the ATM if they need to. So we allow that seamless movement into the digital world, but then if they need to move back into the physical world, they can do so. We did this, last year we did a beta test in Poland, a really good emerging market for this sort of thing. We effectively signed up 6 major top personalities on Twitch, so people might be familiar with Twitch. This is a platform for watching live streaming games. And we had 10,000 sports enthusiasts, not just teenagers, by the way, who were making micro donations. And if they donated above a certain level, they even got a chance to put a shout out there. So really they were paying for recognition, they were paying for engagement. We were really, really quite shocked at the ratings. I mean, the ratings would have been even higher, but we got a little bit of feedback about shortening the registration process and that sort of thing. But we got outstanding feedback, and on the basis of that, now we've signed up a top 5 global media company. We wish we could announce them today, but we can't. We'll probably announce them in the 4th quarter, but we're building now a prototype that they want to roll out to emerging markets. So let's do a demo, and for the demo, I'm going to invite Robert, one of the co-founders of the company, to do the demo for you.
Hello, everybody. As David mentioned, it is for us very easy to integrate with the real world. I couldn't bring a POS and a kiosk to the stage, so I'll start with the video, but the video is just on the beginning. Sorry for that. So it's actually me walking in the same shirt to the corner kiosk next to our office. I am opening our app, and it pops up with the EN code. I just put an amount that I want to top it up with the EN code. That all I need to go over is to cash register. The lady from the scans it. I give her 20 zlotys. 20 zlotys is roughly around 4 euros. And I have it on my device. Yeah, that's already a live demo. So, and I am a big Star Wars fan. I want to buy a movie instantly and instantly watch it. So I go to VOD site. All I need to type in is my username. Oops. I hope I didn't lose the network. Oh, here we go. Then on my app, I'm receiving something called request for payment. If I hit accept, the money moves from that app immediately to the app link to that website. So when the website receives that money, when the merchant that owns that website receives that money, it is immediately settled. And off we go. I can watch a Star Wars movie. At the same time, it gives a merchant ability to see online all of the transactions. I can monitor the balance of it, but I can at the same time also withdraw it directly to my bank account or go to ATM and withdraw it.
Fantastic. Thanks, Robert. Okay, we'll switch back. Okay, thank you very much, Robert. So I hope that was clear to people that there was 2 devices. We often need to make sure that that's clear to people because when it goes quite quickly. Let's talk about benefits. So from a user point of view, this was a free app. So you just simply download it and off you go. The beauty of this particular application, though, is that you're putting the identity onto the phone itself. So you only need to register on the phone. So I'm not sure if it was clear to people, but when Robert wanted to watch the Star Wars movie, all he did is he typed in Robert. That's it. He didn't have to type in any sort of a code. You know, there was no CVV code off the back of your credit card. So if, you know, for those 86% of people who don't trust a website, we've solved that particular problem. You never have to type in any sort of code. You just put in Robert, and that's it. And this is a very, very powerful concept in digital ledger technologies, which is really that the identity is controlled by the user, and the 2-factor authentication happens on the user side quite seamlessly. Now, from the merchant point of view, typically if you're trying to sell content or commerce and you're trying to use an alternative payment method, you might be using something like mobile carrier billing, which could charge you 50, 60% if you're a merchant. If you're distributing something through iTunes, they'd be charging something in the range of about 30%. So we're much, much cheaper. I mean, of course, there's compliance and things of this nature, so we do have to charge a fee. But the underlying cost of the transaction is effectively zero. It's just an internet transaction. So really, it's just a software as a service fee that we charge. The beauty, of course, from a merchant point of view, is that they can just simply put a couple of lines into the URL. They can start selling immediately. They have instant settlement. Robert showed you that they saw the funds immediately on their account. If they wanted to, they could just withdraw at an ATM immediately. Now, from a bank point of view, it's a paradigm shift. So if you're the bank, as I said up front, all you need to do is parameterize governance by policy. So it's just 60 parameters to put in place. But what you're doing is you're shifting from a situation where today, with your current accounts, 70, 80% of your current accounts are effectively unprofitable because they're low usage accounts. Now, with this technology, what you do is every single app is an account. And if somebody doesn't use it, there's no cost. So dormancy costs are gone. It's just a zombie app, that's it. So effectively, there's no cost to a low usage account. And then, of course, if you have an active user account, then, of course, you get the service fees from the merchant that we would split with you, as well as you're getting FX and other types of revenues. So it's a great benefit for the banks because you can download millions and millions and millions of accounts, and you're making money off the active ones, and you don't lose a single dime on any of the inactive ones. If you're Visa, MasterCard in this room, sorry, we don't really have much to say to you right now. You're not in that picture. This is a modified four-party model, and you're part of the picture that's being removed. But we would love to partner with you, so please come talk to us because we think we are your innovation partner. Now, where are we going with this? Because of the technology, effectively, it's client-side encryption. If we've designed it to fit on a smartphone. We can put it on an IoT device. We can also encrypt digital rights. So we've started doing some thinking there. We have about 7 patents in the world of document storage and identity management. And we see ourselves as building more and more branded partners and more interconnected networks. That's it. We have a booth, B106. We look forward to seeing you. Thank you.